Been doing a lot of good work out there, setting an example for the others. I know Ranger Jackson appreciates it. Alright then, just sign here, here, and here.
The gourmand is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. In other news, a package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery. Now that's a delivery service you can count on. You know they say that no news is good news, but I think my program would be awfully dull if that were the case. Here's Bing Crosby reminding us of those times when you absolutely have to kiss the person you love. Something's gotta give. Up next.
Sir.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Well now, look what rolled in. What, you getting lonely out there? Was reminded why I left this place soon as I walked in. Let's go. Caravan of two now.
I would have thought the monorail bombing would slow the NCR down more.
I haven't seen you before. What brings you to the Great Khans? Papa is one of the best leaders the Khans have ever had. He's kept us together through all of our hardships, ever since we left California. Bitter Springs changed him, though. He started to really hate the NCR after the massacre. And sometimes, I worry that's poisoned his mind. Nothing. Forget about it. I shouldn't be talking about this with an outsider. That's a complicated question. They've done horrible things to our people, to be sure, and I've gladly killed many of their soldiers in battle. But I can't bring myself to hate them the way Papa does. Things would damn sure be better for us if they were in charge than Caesar. I suppose if asked, I would, but that's a moot point, because Papa's in charge now, and he's not going anywhere. Name's Regis. I'm Papa Khan's advisor and right-hand man. I'm also the chief enforcer of the tribe's laws, so watch your behavior. Until next time.
I like you, stranger. You've stood by us when not many would. Yeah? Huh? I would have thought the...
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub? You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory. In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here. They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them. When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down. Oh, they claimed it was a miscommunication, but tell that to those who saw our families butchered. Tell it to the survivors who were banished here. Typical. No reference for history in the younger generations. And what benefit would this alliance give us? Well now, the armory could always use more firepower. Very well. Tell the powder gangers we accept their offer. However, they would still have to pass the initiation rite to truly join our ranks. You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the Great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people. Farewell.
Monorail bombing would slow the NCR down more.
Huh?
What?
by us when not many would. Hey,
You're not one of my regulars. What do you want? We keep the Great Khans from falling apart, essentially. Jack manufactures the chems. I organize the runners and the shipments. We're supplying things people want in exchange for things our tribe needs. Don't judge us. We make regular shipments to a lot of settlements around the Mojave. A lot of our business comes from the Fiends lately. Personally, I think they're kind of creepy. But Papa likes the fact they get all hopped up on Psycho and harass the NCR patrols. Like what? I'll spare you the history lesson. Talk to Papa Khan if you want to hear that story. Things have been rough for a while now. Even with Jack working all the time and my runners making deliveries daily, we're barely getting by. Maybe this alliance with Caesar will help, but I don't know. Red Rock Canyon isn't exactly the most hospitable place. There's no food, barely any water, and nothing anybody wants. We used to send patrols out to acquire supplies, but ever since Bitter Springs, there just aren't enough of us left. Sure, what do you want to know? Helpful? What, like bathtub stim packs? What's the point of that? You've got a point. Selling meds to the locals could be a pretty nice side gig. All right, I'll tell Jack to give it a try. Bye.
Whoa, new guy. Do? We don't, do anything. We make the magic happen. We make the happy stuff. What do you need? Jet, Psycho, a little Med-X to ease the pain? Nah, man, more like drug suppliers. Yeah. Other folks sell them. Diane's mostly in charge of that. Guess I just had a natural talent for it. When I was a kid, these cats called the Followers of the Apocalypse came to our camp. They knew all kinds of kooky, scientistical stuff, so I ate up all the chemistry they could teach. Diane had to head for business, so we teamed up. Diane's my girl, man. We've been taking care of each other our whole lives, ever since our folks died. Now we keep the Khans and Caps together. They're family, you dig? They've always looked out for us, made sure we had something to eat and a place to crash. Papa may look like a big angry bear, but he's a softy at heart. Regis is cool, scary, but cool. The rest are all pretty groovy, even little Jerry. The other dudes call him Jerry the Punk. That's kinda harsh, though. I think he's just a sensitive soul that needs some love. He's usually down around the proving ground if you want to say yo. Huh? Look, man, me and Diane, we don't dig on that politics stuff, savvy? We just make the product and make it get to a good home. Sure, Caesar's a drag, but as long as we've got each other, we don't care who the top dogs roll with. Already on it. I whipped up a few stim packs already, but if you've got any more recipes, I'll take them. Take it easy, dude.
holding my breath. Don't need this right now. What, huh?
Anything from Papa Khan? I'd rather not, but fair enough. We'll do it. See you around.
Any lawman that comes after me won't have it easy.
Tough-looking woman. Something tells me she aims for the crotch.
Prim's got some new sheriff watching over the town now.
Didn't know they still had robo-dogs around.
Tough-looking woman. Something tells me she aims for the crotch.
Hey there, youngster. Yeah, bye.
Love our next segment. Tensions are brewing in Freeside between the ruling gang known as the Kings and the large number of NCR squatters seeking refuge there. The leader of the Kings, who would only identify himself as the King, voiced his displeasure, calling NCR citizens, quote, the devil in disguise. He added he didn't want to see the NCR in the last quote, return to sender. In addition, word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. That's all for now. This is Mr. New Vegas saying, I'm just no good without you. Hey, New Vegas, have you ever said